Hello guys, welcome to the election feature. Today we are going to evaluate the most risky places for you. We are going to take a look at the 2024 election map based on the latest polls in the all 50 states to see who is the favorite to win the election in November.
As we approach the final stretch of the 2024 presidential election, state-level polls are providing a clearer picture of the race between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. While some states remain firmly in one candidate's column, others are showing competitive results that could tip the balance in this high-stakes election. Let's break down the latest polling data from each battleground state and see where the race currently stands. I've gone ahead and filled in all of the solid, non-competitive states as they remain unchanged from my previous video. Starting in Iowa, Donald Trump holds a 4-point lead, putting the state into the lean Republican category. While Iowa has been a reliably Republican state in recent elections, it's notable that the margins are tighter than in past cycles where Trump had a much larger lead. Although Trump is still favored to win, the fact that the race is relatively competitive could prompt his campaign to focus more attention on the state than expected, potentially creating openings for Harris in other states. In Minnesota, Kamala Harris holds a solid 7-point lead, positioning the state comfortably in the likely Democratic column. Minnesota has been a consistent Democratic stronghold for decades, and Harris's advantage here reflects that history. The state's strong urban and suburban support for Democrats, combined with Tim Walz as Harris's running mate, makes Minnesota one of the more secure states for her campaign. Wisconsin remains a crucial battleground, with Harris holding a narrow 1-point lead, tilting the state in her favor. Wisconsin has flipped between parties in recent elections, making it a key prize for both campaigns. While Harris's lead is modest, the state's tendency to swing means every point counts. If Harris can hold on to this slim advantage, it will be a significant win for her campaign and a critical step towards securing the presidency. Michigan mirrors Wisconsin, with Harris also leading by 1 point. This slight edge places Michigan in the tilt Democratic category. Michigan was one of the pivotal states that flipped to Trump in 2016, only to swing back to the Democrats in 2020. Harris's narrow lead suggests that the state remains competitive, but it currently leans slightly in her direction. Winning Michigan is essential for Harris, as it is part of the blue wall that she needs to maintain to reach 270 electoral votes. If you enjoy our content, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Pennsylvania follows the same pattern as Michigan and Wisconsin, with Harris holding a 1-point lead, tilting the state into her column. Pennsylvania's importance cannot be overstated. It's a battleground that both campaigns are fighting fiercely for. While the race is extremely tight, Harris's slim lead is a positive sign for her campaign. Securing Pennsylvania would be a major victory, and Harris's current position, while tenuous, gives her a slight edge in this critical state. Virginia is one of the stronger states for Harris, where she leads by 10 points. Although this margin would typically place Virginia in the solid Democratic category, the polling aggregate shows the lead slightly below that threshold, so we classify it as likely Democratic. Virginia has been trending blue in recent elections, and Harris's commanding lead here suggests that the state will remain firmly in her column. Virginia's 13 electoral votes are likely safe for Harris, allowing her to focus resources on more competitive states. In this election cycle, an Emerson poll shows Harris up by 1 point, tilting the state in her favor. North Carolina has long been considered a Republican-leaning state, and if Harris manages to win here, it would be a major blow to Trump's re-election chances. A Democratic victory in North Carolina would significantly decrease Trump's odds of winning the presidency, making this state one of the most crucial battlegrounds to watch. In Georgia, Trump holds a 2-point lead, positioning the state in the tilt Republican category. This is a crucial state that flipped blue in 2020, marking a significant shift in the political landscape. However, Trump's current advantage suggests that the state could swing back to the Republicans in 2024. Despite the tight margin, Georgia remains fiercely competitive, and both campaigns will continue to heavily target the state, knowing its 16 electoral votes could be pivotal in the final outcome. Florida, with its 30 electoral votes, remains a significant battleground, but Trump currently holds a 6-point lead, placing it in the likely Republican category. While Florida is historically competitive, Trump's steady advantage suggests that he is favored to win the state again. Harris's campaign will continue to contest Florida, but the numbers indicate that it remains an uphill battle for the Democrats. Texas remains in Trump's column with a 9-point lead, which puts it in the likely Republican category. Despite hopes from some Democrats that Texas might become competitive, the state continues to lean Republican. Trump's significant lead here suggests that Texas's 40 electoral votes are unlikely to flip, and Harris's path to victory does not heavily rely on winning the Lone Star State. New Mexico is another stronghold for Harris, where she leads by 10 points. Although this margin would typically place it in the solid Democratic category, the aggregate polling shows the lead slightly below that mark, so we classify it as likely Democratic. New Mexico has consistently voted blue in recent elections, and Harris's comfortable lead suggests it will remain that way. Arizona is another highly contested battleground, with Trump holding a narrow 1-point lead. This puts Arizona in the tilt Republican category. Arizona flipped blue in 2020, and the state remains highly competitive in 2024. Both campaigns will need to invest heavily here, as Arizona's 11 electoral votes could prove decisive. Nevada is currently showing a dead heat at 49% to 49%, but Harris is up in the aggregate polling, so we tilt the state in her favor. Nevada has been a consistent Democratic state in recent cycles, but it's clear that the margins are tightening. Harris's ability to secure Nevada's 6 electoral votes will be critical, and this state is likely to remain fiercely contested until Election Day. Alaska is another surprising state this cycle, with Trump leading by just 5 points. While Alaska is expected to remain in the Republican column, the fact that it's even this competitive is a warning sign for Trump. Typically, Alaska is a strong Republican state, so this narrower margin suggests that Harris is performing better than expected. New Hampshire is firmly in the likely Democratic column, with Harris holding an 11-point lead. This state has consistently leaned blue in recent elections, and Harris's strong polling suggests that New Hampshire's 4 electoral votes are safely in her column. Maine at large is another secure state for Harris, with a 9-point lead that places it in the likely Democratic category. While Maine splits its electoral votes, the statewide vote looks set to go blue once again. Maine's 2nd congressional district is in the likely Republican column, as Trump holds a 7-point lead according to the latest poll. Lastly, in Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, Harris is up by 5 points, leaning the district into the Democratic column. This single electoral vote could be crucial in a close election, and Harris's lead here is a positive sign for her campaign. Based on the latest polling data, Kamala Harris is projected to win 292 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 246, securing a path to the presidency. While many battleground states remain tight, Harris's leads in key areas, such as North Carolina and Pennsylvania, give her a slight but significant edge. As both campaigns enter the final weeks, the focus will be on maximizing voter turnout in these critical swing states that could ultimately decide the election. California is once again proving to be a stronghold for the Democrats in the 2024 presidential election. With its massive 54 electoral votes, the state continues to play a crucial role in the national political landscape. California has always been a Democratic stronghold, but Harris's performance here emphasizes her personal appeal to voters in the state. Her focus on issues like climate change, healthcare reform, and social justice resonates particularly well with California's diverse and progressive electorate. In the latest poll conducted by Capital Weekly from September 11th to 16th, with a sample of 1,054 likely voters, Harris dominates with 59% of the vote, leaving Trump far behind with just 34%. Harris's 25-point margin clearly indicates her solid support in her home state. This margin also speaks to her strong base among young voters, women, and minority groups, key demographic pillars that have propelled Democratic victories in the state for years.
The large margin seen in this poll are not surprising given the state's historical voting patterns. Harris' overwhelming 25-point lead can be attributed to her personal connection to California as former USA Senator from the states, as well as her focus on progressive policies that resonate with a significant portion of the state's voters. These results are a stark contrast to the national race, where polling has been much tighter in key battleground states. But in California, the Democrats appear to be no danger of losing ground, with Harris holding commanding leads over Trump. As always, turnout will be key, but if these numbers hold, California is set to deliver a message: 54 electoral votes to the Democrat nominee once again. Harris' commanding lead suggests she has a potential to energize California's diverse and progressive electorate, possibly driving higher turnout among key Democratic groups like young voters and minority communities. California's Democratic dominance is nothing new, but with margin like this, Harris can count on strong support from the Golden State as the key hit towards the final stretch of the campaign. Now, watch any of these videos to get latest poll results from another state. And what do you think? Will Trump ever have a chance of leading in California, even with a small margin? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The election in November will apparently be very exciting. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video and turn on notification bell. See you in next video. Thank you.